Hey guys, what's up? Grand Vice 8 here. I have had a chance to play Set 5 PvE, had early access to it, and I have a bunch of information for you. By the time you see this video, the NDA will have expired, and we're going to talk about in this video champions, new items, new synergies, the new Set 5 set mechanic, and it's super good. I have extremely high hopes for this set. The mechanic feels very good. We're gonna see gameplay footage of one of the early access games, one of the sneak peek games. I am playing 5 Draconic, which is essentially the new Fortune. The synergy gives you more items, it gives you gold, it gives you champions, and without further ado, let's jump right into it. There's going to be a lot to go over here, so just enjoy the game, and we're going to talk about some of the things that we have seen in this new set 5. Okay, just to give you an overview of this game, we're going to be playing 5 Draconic, which every turn that you have it on, you get an egg, and then over time the eggs hatch, and if you have 3 Draconic, out pops some gold or some champions, and the champions are always going to be Draconic champions, so it can help you like 3-star the units if you want to commit to this comp. And then if you want 5 Draconic, you're going to need Heimerdinger, which is the 5 cost. The unit is really strong. He creates like a little dragon, and the dragon just melts everybody. And once you have 5 Draconic, you can get more gold, you get golden eggs, and out of the golden eggs you get more gold, you can get items, you can get like jackpots, and we haven't experienced, we don't know the whole loot table, but you get some goodies, and it's really fun. So just to talk about some of the new synergies coming back, these aren't the origins, these are going to be like the traits, so like assassin, knight, mystic, etc. So just start off the top, we're gonna have assassins. They do more critical strike damage and get a better critical strike chance. Those champions are going to be Kha'Zix, LeBlanc, Katarina, Nocturne. Diana is the 4 cost, and Viego is the 5 cost. Viego's super cool, really fun champion. He allows you to take control of enemy champions if you kill them, and we haven't played with him too much. I really want to get more games on it, but from what we have played, he's super fun. It's going to be the Nocturne that's coming back. It's going to be the same Nocturne from the Blunder era. Kha'Zix is a really good early game assassin. He feels really strongly itemized. Moving on, we have Brawler, your typical frontline. You have Gragas, Warwick, you have Set. It's 2 cost Set, not 5. You have Nunu, and you have Volibear. Volibear is going to be the 5 cost. He feels so good. He jumps, and he has like an AoE stun. The AoE is massive, and the unit feels really good to run. He's also a Revenant, so he can be like revived, and he could come back to life and get like a second ulti off. It feels really good. The next trait is going to be Caretaker. A Caretaker deploys with a baby dragon that can be placed anywhere on the battlefield. Baby dragons get 100% of the handler's attack speed and restore 50 mana to their Caretaker upon death. Heimerdinger is the only Caretaker. He revolves around this little baby dragon. When that dragon casts, it is so much damage. Next is Cavalier. They take reduced damage. It's a 2-3-4 synergy, and at the start of combat or after charging, the effect is doubled. So basically, whenever they walk up to a unit, instead of walking, they run up to it. And when they do this, they get extra reduced damage reduction, or extra damage reduction rather. And it just makes them super tanky. They're very good frontline. You have 4 of them. It's going to be Kled, Hecarim, Sejuani, and Rel. And the thing about Set 5 is there's actually, I feel like the amount of CC is much lower than that what we saw in Set 4.5. So it's going to be very interesting. Your units are going to actually be able to play the game, and it feels very good. Like it doesn't feel overpowering. You just get to play the game. You get to have more control over the game in general, and it just feels really nice. I'm over here reading the shadow items. We'll talk about the new shadow item set mechanic in a little bit. But moving on, you have Cruel. Cruel is the next one. It's the only one is Teemo. Instead of costing gold, units will cost health. So, you got to be a little careful. If you want to 2-star the Teemo, it's going to cost you quite a bit of HP. You have God Kings. God Kings are Darius and Garen. They essentially get bonus damage for like rival synergies, and that's a pretty big list. And if it's the only God King, he does extra damage as well. You have invokers. Invokers allies gain increased mana per basic attack. So you run 2 invoker and all of your allies get more mana when they auto attack, which is really good. It feels really nice to be able to just tech that in late game. You 2 of them are 4 costs, 1 of them are 5 costs, so you can always almost fit those. You can almost always fit those in. You have Syndra, Ivern, Karma, Teemo, and I didn't mention it earlier, but the 2 God Kings are Darius and Garen. But yeah, Syndra, Ivern, Karma, Teemo, they're good support units. They're good units on their own, and it's very nice to just kind of, you know, tech them in. Next, we have Knights. Knights comes back. You get flat damage reduction from all sources just by having these units on the board. This does apply to all of your units. You have Leona, Poppy, Nautilus, Thresh, Taric, Garen, Darius. Now this is mostly an early game synergy, but it's very easy to run to Knight as well late game because Taric is a 4 cost. So he has a good ability, he has really good tags just in general, and then the other ones are Garen or Darius, so you can run one of those 2 on your board. You have Legionnaires, who gain bonus attack speed, and their first attack after casting a spell heals them for 50% of the damage dealt. So basically it's just something that scales well into late game. You have really good units. You have Aatrox, Kalista, Riven, Yasuo, Draven, Mord, and Kayle. Now your main ones here are going to be Draven, Mordekaiser, and Kayle. Those are your 4 and 5 costs. These are going to be the late game threads. And Kayle is so good. Kayle comes back as a 5 cost, and every now and then she will ascend, which basically makes the unit do, it gives it another ability, another effect. And by the time towards the end of the game, or towards the end of the fight, once she's ascended 3 or 4 times, she is so strong. It's a complete monster, and it's like a ticking time bomb. Next, we have Mystic. You know, it's the same thing. All allies gain magic resist. It's a 2-3-4 trait this time, and you have 5 Mystics: Lulu, Morgana, Lux, Rise, and Kindred being the 5 costs. It's Ranger Kindred who comes back with the the circle that keeps everyone alive. Feels really good. She has good tags in general. Rise is like a 4 cost damage mystic, which is really interesting. Morgana is a 3 cost, and she feels so good. She has like this AoE, it's the AoE stun Morgana who sends out the shackles and then stuns everybody. She feels really good as like a frontliner early mid game. Making their return is Rangers. They get a bonus attack speed every 4 seconds. It goes on and off every 4 seconds. You have Vayne, Varus, Ashe, Aphelios, and Kindred. Again, Kindred is that 5 cost. She is a Ranger. She feels really good with Aphelios or Ashe. I think Rangers are very powerful, and they feel really nice to run. Next, we have Renewer. Renewers heal for a % of their maximum health each second. If they're full health, they restore mana instead. So that feels really good. I like the mana thing they added. That way, if your guy is full health, you're not losing value. You just get more casts off. You're going to have Liss, Vladimir, Soraka, Ivern, and Heimerdinger. Ivern and Heimerdinger are the 4 and 5 costs, so late game those are going to be the ones you want, and they both feel really strong. Ivern is a crazy like disruption CC unit. He summons Daisy, and Daisy gets like a bash. It's like an AoE knockup every time Ivern uses that ability. And Heimerdinger, we already talked about him, but he is a super good unit. Skirmishers. Skirmishers gain a shield at the start of combat and gain attack damage each second. It's a 3/6 synergy, and basically you have a decent early board with that shield, and then the longer the fight goes, the more this comp scales up. You have Udyr, Kennen, Trundle, Lee Sin, Nidalee, Pantheon, Jax, and Viego. So there's a lot of units there. Jax is the 4 cost, Viego is a 5 cost. Jax in his kit, every time he uses his ability, he gets like a bunch of attack speed, and there's no limit to it. So if you can keep your Jax alive for a long time, he will hit that auto attack speed cap. And with the extra AD he gains from Skirmisher, he's a super good unit. It's like League of Legends Jax. The longer the game goes on, the stronger he gets, and this unit feels really nice. You also have Spell Weavers. These are kind of like the mages. They have increased spell power and gain bonus ability power anytime a champion uses an ability, and right now it stacks up to 10. This isn't necessarily that champion itself. Any champion on the board, whenever it uses an ability, the spell weavers will get a stack. So those they hit the cap pretty quick. And then in my experience, you have Ziggs, Brand, Victor, Zyra, and Vel'Koz, and that's gonna be it for the traits. There's a bunch of other origins that we won't be going into. There will be a cheat sheet. It's been leaked already, so I'm sure you can find it on Reddit. If not, I will link it in this video. I don't know, we don't have there's a pretty one somewhere. We kind of have the ugly one for now, but hopefully we get that pretty one soon. Anyways, all right, so basically this game, if you've been watching it, we have Draconic online. We're getting these eggs. Always you're gonna see another Draconic unit pop out, either that or gold, and it really helps you get a 3-star out of that. And you know, I'm over here, I'm looking at what the spat items do. There's a bunch of new items. Actually, let's go ahead and talk about the set mechanic. The new set mechanic is it's 2-part. One part is every so often in a game, I think right now it's like once a stage, 2, 3, and 4, you get to select an item. You get a choice of 2 or 4 items, and you get to pick one of them. So first of all, I really like this because it gives you control over the items you get. It really reduces your chance of getting more dogged because you're not getting as many natural item drops. And so some of that choice gets given to you as a player. You have a lot more impact, and it feels super good. I think this is probably one of the best things that the Riot dev team has done for TFT because it gives you a lot more agency as a player. So you get a choice of 2 or 4 items, and one of these items, like some of these items, have the potential to be a shadow item. You can also get these shadow items off of carousel. And what a shadow item does is when you combine items, you know, it makes a combined item. If one of those items used during the combination is a shadow item, you will make a shadow variant of the combined item. So if you take a tear and a sword and you make a spear of Shojin, and one of those items is a shadow item, or like a shadow tear or a shadow sword, you'll make like a cursed Shojin or whatever it's called. But basically the items will have a different effect. Usually it will be stronger, and the item will have some sort of drawback. And this gives you a lot of options. Some of the traits, like Forgotten, they're empowered by shadow traits. It makes a unit stronger, but it gives you a lot more flexibility. It gives you more item choice, and it's just super interesting. The amount of items has been doubled. There's double items. There's also double spatula items. So you have like 16 spat items, and it opens up a whole world of possibilities to where you just have so many more options, and that just feels great. Like the amount of items being doubled, just, I mean, basically it doesn't double your decisions, but I don't know, it gives you a lot more decisions to make. You have more control by being able to pick these items, and the game, from what I've played, just feels so good. And I can't wait for you guys to have access to this on the PvE, and I really want to play around with it more myself. Alright, so let's go ahead and talk about some of the items. There have been a lot of changes. They've changed, for example, Redemption has been changed. It no longer does a heal when the unit dies. I actually really like this item. They made it to where it heals for like a percentage of your for like a percentage of like missing health, and there's a shadow variant which heals for a percentage of missing health and damages a wearer. But anyways, like basically the idea of the item is the longer the champion lives, the more healing you get. It's like a healing aura. You know, there's a range and it heals units within that range. So the longer the champion lives, the more value you get from it. So if you can keep the unit alive, it feels really good because you get a lot of value and a lot of healing out of that. To talk about some of the other items, we can talk about some of the new shadow items. Trap Claw, if you make a shadow variant, instead of just stunning, you teleport to that unit and then the units hit each other. There's a cursed Spear of Shojin to where you get extra mana on hit, but the holder deals like 25% less damage. And again, these numbers can change. There's a cursed Rabadon's Death Cap, which gives your unit even more AP with a drawback of having less max health. So if you really want to make your unit like a super glass cannon, this is the item to go for. You have a Locket of the Dark Solari, which is, you know, Locket of the Solari, the cursed variant. No longer, it doesn't give a shield, but instead the units take less damage. They take like 20% less damage, but they gain get less mana from auto attacking. So basically this is good for like your front line. You have Ginsu's Evil Rage Blade, which it stacks up even more. You get more attack speed per stack and your units like really ramp up, but you do end up taking damage every time you auto attack. But yeah, every item is going to have an evil variant, a cursed variant, and it's gonna take a little getting used to, but it's gonna open up a lot more options for gameplay. However, let's go ahead and talk about some of the origin traits. So we talked about a lot of them already. Let's talk about some of the other ones, some of the origins. So you have Forgotten, which there's a bunch of Forgotten units. I'm not going to go over. We will link the sheet and you can look at those units yourself. But Forgotten, so it's a 3/6/9 synergy, and it just gives you flat attack damage and ability power. And the more cursed items you have on your team, the stronger the synergy is going to be. So it opens up a lot of options. Cursed items help this comp a lot, and it makes it a lot stronger. You also have Nightbringer, and Nightbringers get a shield for 8 seconds equal to a percentage of their maximum health, and the first time they drop below 50%, they gain bonus damage. So this is another really big synergy. It goes up to 8, and this comp can get pretty nutty. It's really fun to play. There's a lot of really fun units in it, Darius being the main one, and if you can get a lot, like 6 or 8 with Darius, he's going to do a lot of damage. He's going to have a really big shield. Of course, you have Rangers. We're not going to talk about those. Coven's a new one. It's an early game synergy. A unit is chosen as a Coven leader. Basically, it like triangulates the position of your 3 Covens. The person in the middle is chosen as a Coven leader, and this unit will gain 50% bonus ability power, which is a lot. And each time a Coven champion casts, 25% of the cost is bestowed upon the Coven leader. So you basically choose a Coven, you choose your cult leader, and you just, you know, you pump them up. You give them AP, and you get those abilities casting faster. You have Hellions, and it's pretty simple. Hellions gain attack speed. It's gonna be a lot of attack speed, and then when they die, a lower star version of that unit comes in. So if you have a 3-star Kled and he dies, a 2-star Kled will come in, and then when that 2-star Kled dies, a 1-star Kled will come in, and it's like the little nesting dolls, you know, they just keep coming in. You have Dragon Slayers, and they gain bonus ability power after their first Dragon Slayer scores a takedown on an enemy with at least however many maximum health. All allies gain ability power for the rest of the round. So once you get that kill at 2, you know, you get ability power for Dragon. You get a bunch of ability power for the Dragon Slayer, and then you get a little less for the team. So this team wants to get an early kill. You want to make sure you focus something, and it's something nice to tech into your comp. Abomination is really cool. When 3 allied champions have died, the monstrosity will awaken. It's kind of like Cultists, and this Abomination will get health and attack damage based on the Abomination unit's star levels, and it could also get the items that your units were using. So it's a little different. It's kind of like Mech. It's kind of like Mech plus Cultist combined. And it's pretty fun, but it does spawn like once the units have died, or like at least 3 of them, because this is a 2, 3, 4, 5 synergy. You have Redeemed, and these units will get increased armor, magic resist, and ability power. When they die, the bonus is split among the remaining redeemed allies. So this is really cool in that it's a good synergy on its own, but then once your units start dying, it gets even stronger because the power gets concentrated in those last remaining units, and it's a very tall synergy. It goes up all the way up to 9. So if you're running 9 and it's that last unit alive, this unit's gonna be so powerful. You also have Dawnbringer, which is another very tall synergy. It goes up to 8. Dawnbringers rapidly heal some of their maximum health the first time they drop below 50%. And when this heal occurs, all allied Dawnbringers gain 10% bonus damage. Now, I don't know if that's happens for every Dawnbringer. If it does, that's really insane, or if it just happened once. I imagine it's for everyone, but I'm not 100%. Next you have Verdant. This one's really cool. I remember reading on Reddit that when this got leaked, people were like, no way this is real. There's no way Riot's going to add that. Well, guess what? They added it. Champions that start combat adjacent to at least one Verdant ally are immune to crowd control for a duration. At 2, it's 5 seconds. At 3, it's 8 seconds. Having a QSS for all these units is actually insane. I love running Taric just because you add like Ashe or Kale, and you do get that benefit. It feels really good. Next, of course, you have Draconic. At the end of each player combat, gain a dragon egg on your bench. You have to make sure you have bench space, because if you don't, you don't get it, which is what happened in this game. I was playing and I didn't end up getting an egg because I didn't have space for it. But the bigger the egg, the longer it takes to hatch, and the rarer the reward. So if you get those big eggs, they're gonna take a while, but you know it's gonna be something juicy. So it's a 3 and 5 synergy. Once it's at 5, you get golden eggs. The golden eggs will hatch into rare loot. It's like 3 and 6 fortune. And the best part is you don't have to lose streak for it. You're never gonna get stuck in Draconic prison. You're gonna cash out every time. Next, you have Ironclad. Ironclad is basically Mystic, but instead of MR, it gives you armor. The unit, it feels really good. You have Eternal as well, and Eternal is really interesting. Kindred is the only Eternal unit. And what happens is Wolf separates from Lamb to become a second champion. Wolf does not count towards your unit cap and receives all of Lamb's stat bonuses. So basically, whatever items you put on Kindred is going to affect both of those units. Okay, so keep in mind that it only gets the base stats. It doesn't get item effects. So like if you place a Fawn on your Kindred, you're not gonna get 2 units. It's just gonna pass over the stats. So if you put a Rage Blade, it's just gonna give it the bow and the rod. But it still feels really good. Both units have their own abilities. Both units are very strong. You still get the AoE that keeps your units alive, and Wolf will do it'll do damage and it'll do a heal. And Wolf is actually a beast. Kindred is really good, and his champion is nuts. You also have Revenant, and Revenant, a unit revives after their first death each combat. Once the unit is revived, they take and deal 30% increased damage. The Revenant units are going to be Ivern. It's going to be Volibear and I believe Nocturne. And Nocturne isn't the main one, but Volibear and Ivern feel great because if these units can revive and get a second ulti off, it's going to be super impactful. They feel really good. And the more Revenants you have, the more health they revive with. That's going to do it for the Origins as well. Like I said, there's a lot of new synergies here, a lot of stuff we haven't seen before, and some stuff we have. We've seen Mystic, we've seen Knights, but these are good synergies. A lot of the units are new, a lot of them are really fun to play, and I'm just super excited to get into the set, play around with it a little more. I think set 5 is on track to be one of the best. I don't know if I'm saying this because I just played a bunch of set 4.5, or if these are like okay thoughts, but set 5 feels so good. And again, it might be because we're coming off of 4.5, but it feels so good. I have a lot of faith that this is going to be the most one of the best TFT sets. It feels really fun to play. I was on vacation and like all I could think about was playing PvE, and bruh, and I haven't played TFT in 2 weeks prior to that. Like, it feels really good. The champions are fun, the synergies are fun, and the items are fun. Chosen is gone, and I think we're all gonna have a really good time. It's gonna be on PBE on the 14th, and expect more videos to come. I'll be doing daily uploads. I have an Ivern 3. So in one of the games I was able to play, we had Ivern 3. Which is one of the new 4-cost units, and that one's going to be uploaded the day after this video goes up. And every day following that, we will have some juicy gameplay for you. I'll be playing this all day long, and I'll be sure to upload the best game every single day. So make sure you like and subscribe. You'll get the make sure you click notifications to get those and see when they go up. We have a challenger guide coming out soon that's gonna go over some of the tips and tricks I used to climb to the top of multiple ladders, EU, NA, etc. And just enjoy the rest of this game. We're running a fortune mid game. We're playing these knights. We're waiting for the little Heimerdinger to come out. Like, the thing about the 5 Draconic is you need Heimerdinger. There's no chosen, you can get it early. But if you look at the board, we got set 3 super early, and that's just kind of how Draconic works. Like, if you get this online early and you start getting those eggs, the units that come out of the eggs are Draconic units. So it makes it really easy to 3-star these. Like, at one point, I think I had 3-star set, and I had like more sets on the bench. It's like, wait a second, I don't need that many. We do finally get the Heimerdinger at 5-1, and at that point, 49 HP, it's looking a little rough, but at that point, the game is over. We're running double Zyra 2, and I'm probably just going to talk about this game a little bit, because this game was super fun. It was one of my first games on the PvE, and it was really fun to play around. I'm still reading a bunch of the abilities. A lot of us were, we have this Ashe mid-game carry. We have a Spellweaver spat for it. I'm not really sure how to make all the spat items yet, just because there's so many of them. You see this Kled, he has the Cursed Titan's Resolve. Basically, it stacks infinitely, and then when a unit dies, it explodes and it deals like 1/4 of its damage to the units around it. So it can be a really big bomb. But yeah, you see this, we have this Cursed Locket as well. It makes your frontline a lot tankier. They don't get a shield, but they do take reduced damage. And you just look at that Heimerdinger damage. 3,700 damage from this Heimerdinger 1 popping off. Ashe popping off. You have the set, you have the double Zyras also popping off. And now we do get that first golden egg. So for 3 Draconic, it's not anything amazing. It's just like 2-3 gold every turn. But once you do get 5, once we do get these golden items popping out, you're gonna see some nice items coming out. And one thing I will talk about is the amount of CC in this set is a lot lower than like in 4.5. There's no Sejuani, there's no Aatrox to mess up your backline. There's no Sejuani to permastun your front line. You have some CC, but it's nothing too crazy, and it feels kind of nice, honestly. It's a breath of fresh air. I feel like Set 4 had way too much CC. Man, look at this Jax. I like the new Jax a lot. I think he's a super fun and rewarding unit to play. The way he works is the longer he lives, every time he uses his ability, he gets like 30% attack speed. So the longer this unit lives, the stronger he gets. So if you can like keep him safe, he's gonna be a monster throughout a fight. All right, I'll let you guys watch the rest of this game. There's a decent amount left. This comp is gonna get a little nutty, and I hope you enjoy it. I'll see you guys soon. Be sure to like and subscribe and get those videos when they come out. Peace. I'll give it a bow. Let's hold off on the cloak. Maybe we get more items. But we will give it the bow. Is this thing just ult non-stop or what? Wait, what's its mana? Maybe it has super low mana. That's 20 mana. Yeah, if it takes any damage, it just goes off. Wow. It's so good. It's actually so good.
High concentration of subjects.
Man, this board's so good. Palm's nuts. Give me that egg, baby. Wait, did I not get my other egg because I have... Oh, my bench was full, so I didn't get an egg. Oh, no. Oh, no. I got scammed. My bench was full. I didn't get an egg. Now we are missing an egg. Wow, that's a lot of Garens. Man, can I play it? I don't think so.
Your time has come.
Ready or not.
What was that?
Shine once more before the end.
Ooh, really good Vel'Koz ult, taking down that Teemo. The little Heimer turn is just blasting away. The Kindred 2-star now. Man, my backline's so good. My backline is so strong, and I'm not even capped yet. Like, I still have a ways to go before I cap out. Like, this isn't even my final form. Oh, we're kind of getting there though. My God. All right, where is my chosen Heimerdinger? Oh wow, these items are kind of good. And I feel like we can change this board. I'm just not sure how. I mean, the obvious solution is dropping 2 of these Draconics. But imagine dropping Draconic, bro. Imagine dropping 5 Draconic. Oh, that Vel'Koz got popped. I'm getting clapped by this Heimerdinger, actually. Oh, no! Kindred destroyed me! Oh my God. Wait, Aphelios. Aphelios is so strong. Wow. Right. Helios is kind of good. What do I do? What do I do against this? What do I do against this? I got absolutely roasted. I don't really see how I'm going to win that. Also, I don't know what any of these items do. Lodge. Maybe Death Cap. I mean, that's not bad. That'll cost 3, it's time.
Concentration of subjects.
Perhaps. Volibear 2 is pretty good. I'm 1 off Zyra 3. This probably isn't happening. Really good Volibear roll. I mean, decent Heimerdinger value. The issue is I'm not getting a ton. Ooh, I one-shot his Aphelios. Okay. Well, that'll do it. Okay, this guy got clapped. Well, that guy clapped so hard last time we fought, but this time he got clapped. What does this guy even do? Leaps towards his target and slams the ground in a large area around him, removing any shields, dealing 250 magic damage, and knock him with stunning enemies for 3 segundos. Oh, my egg. Oh, Rod. Ionic Spark, yikes. We can probably put this on Set. He's gonna live super long. Is it the same item? They haven't changed it, right? Yeah, I don't think they changed it. So hopefully Volibear jumps to the right. Yeah, because getting the stun over here is, look at that. It's actually just beautiful. The Volibear comes out, the Heimerdinger comes out, the Ashe one-shots Aphelios, and that's a wrap, baby. Man, my board is crickety cracked. And this dude just got popped. Stone play. I'm still getting these eggs. We're still getting stronger. Glove. Renewer. Heals her percentage. Their maximum health. But instead he's getting mana. Oh, I need to change my position as well. I think I need to move my backline to the left a little bit. How does Zyra work? What's her targeting like, rather? Towards the farthest enemy? Okay. Okay, I see. Just like Ashe. So you just kill the same unit. I see. I see. Ivern 3? Bro, why not? Vel'Koz 3? Why not? Okay, the reason why not is it's actually like kind of hard to hit all those. What does Ivern even do? He summons Daisy? Okay. Kindred? Why not? Okay, Kindred's actually never gonna get hit. I didn't move my team. Stone plate this guy. I didn't move my team. I guess it's Last Whisper. Why not? So Volibear, I think, doesn't knock up this guy here. He does? Wow, what's the range on that? Oh my god. Zyra plus Heimerdinger just one-shot the Aphelios. It's actually insane.
Not here, not yet.
GG. Well, there you have it. 5 Draconic. This comp is nuts. You just get so many items. And a lot of the units in the comp feel pretty good. I will say though, if it wasn't even the Draconics carrying the board, it was... I mean, it was honestly Heimerdinger who feels insane. Volibear feels really good. Zyra felt alright. It might have just been the infinite amount of items we had.
Can you say Ooga Booga GV8 gang?